Shalom. Welcome to our weekday class. How's everybody doing?
Shalom.
Shalom.
All right. That's good. We're going to jump right into it, not waste any time today. Pass it over to Leonard.
Okay, shalom, everybody. I hope everybody had a good day, and I hope last time that we met, everything went well. So I'm gonna get right into this. And the topic of our class today is the purpose of dreams and visions in the Tanakh, in the Old Testament, and so we see over and over in the Old Testament in Tanakh that the prophets, the seers, the kings, and our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they have dreams and visions. And so what are the purpose of these dreams and these visions? The Lord of hosts came down in front of the tabernacle in the wilderness and called Miriam and Aaron out to speak unto them. The Lord of hosts was angry with them because they were in conflict with Moses, his servant. Yeah, you find this in Numbers chapter 12, verses 1 through 16. You can read it on your own time. Says in verse 6 of chapter 12 of Numbers, the Lord of hosts implies, if there be a prophet among Israel, I, the Lord, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and I will speak unto him in a dream. This verse explains to us that the Lord speaks to the Israelites through dreams and visions. He speaks to Israel through dreams and visions and informs them of things to come so that they will know and prepare themselves for it. Okay, so you may be asking, how is this possible? Okay, so it goes back to our DNA. When the Most High God made Adam, the man Adam, say in Genesis 2 verse 7, which states, and the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. So my question is, what is this breath of life that he breathed into Adam? And if you do your research and go and you find out that the reason that we darker skinned people are darker than other people is the fact that they have a substance called melanin, which today's scientists and biologists call it dark matter. Yeah, this dark matter is melanin, and the melanin is actually the matter that's actually the soul. That's the breath of life that the Most High breathed into Adam. Okay, this melanin is what causes the skin to be dark. Okay, so I'm going to explain that. So if you go to Leviticus chapter 17, I'm going to read verses 10 through 14 and show you that this is indeed is fact. So I'm going to start at Leviticus 17 verse 10. And what he's doing is the Most High forbidding Israel, the Israelites, one of the laws is that they can't eat blood. They can't eat blood. So verse 10, Leviticus 17 verse 10. And whatsoever man there be of the house of Israel, or of the stranger that sojourns among you, that eateth any manner of blood, I will even set my face against that soul that eateth blood, and I will cut him off from among his people. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it unto you upon the altar to make an atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that maketh the atonement for the soul. Therefore I said unto the children of Israel, no soul of ye shall eat blood, neither shall any stranger that sojourn among you eat blood. And whatsoever man there be of the children of Israel, or of the stranger that sojourn among you, which hunteth and catcheth any beast or fowl that be eaten, he shall even pour out the blood thereof and cover it with dust. And so the verse I'm getting to is 14. For it is the life of all flesh. The blood of it is for the life thereof. Therefore I said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not eat. Ye shall eat the blood of no manner of flesh. For the life of all flesh is the blood thereof. Whosoever eateth it shall be cut off. So when we go back to with that understanding right there, we go back to Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. And he says, and the Lord God formed the man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And Leviticus 17, verse 14 says, for it is the life, the blood is the life of all flesh, and the blood of it is the life thereof. Therefore I said unto the children of Israel, ye shall eat the blood of no manner of flesh, for the life of all flesh is the blood thereof. Whosoever eateth it shall be cut off. So the melanin is the substance, is the life that's in the blood, the dark matter. And so what I'm going to do now is give you some of the functions of melanin. It's responsible for tanning of the skin that is exposed to the sunlight. So this melanin causes, it regulates the UV rays that's in the sunlight to keep us from getting the darker skinned people from getting sunburned. But the light skinned people are the pale people, they get skin cancer because they get lacking melanin. They only have a small amount of melanin in their body. Says another function is a dark brown to black pigment occurring in the hair, skin, and the iris of the eye in people and animals. Melanin creates neuromelanin that is found in the brain. The brain tissues, which within the melanin is the medulla and the pigment-bearing neutrons within the area of the brainstem. Melatonin is a natural hormone that regulates the human biological clock, which is produced by the pineal gland. Okay, and the pineal gland is what, if you're not familiar with it, the pineal gland is they call it the third eye, which is located in the brain, and it's right behind it's right in behind your forehead. It's right behind your other two eyes. They call it the third eye because the pineal gland is awakened at night when you sleep. This is what causes you to dream, and it's when you get the visions and the dreams that you receive at night through this pineal gland, which secretes this melanin. Okay, and the Lord is able to communicate with Israel by way of the melanin, the dark matter, and the pineal gland. This is the way in which He communicates with us. Okay, and so that's how it operates. So what I'm gonna do now is it's an order and how this works. And if it don't pan out in the way what I'm going to show you, then you immediately become alarmed because it's something ain't right, and somebody trying to detour you down another road, or they're trying to change the dream, or they're trying to change the outcome of the dream. So the first thing that happens is the person have a dream, which is delivered by an angel. I say then once the person had a dream, the prophet he pray about it and seek the meaning of the dream. And then what happens after that? Angel shows up and interprets the dream, and the person or the prophet then waits for it to come to pass. And then the dream or the vision then comes to pass. So this is the order of things. There is no other way. If you see another way, then you know something wrong. So I'm going to give you an example of a dream. It's in Jeremiah chapter 16. Okay. This pertains to Israel going into captivity in Babylon. I'm going to do some reading, so gotta get ready. Jeremiah chapter 16, verses 1 through 18. It says, the word of the Lord came also unto me, saying, thou shalt not take thee a wife, neither shalt thou have sons or daughters in this place. For thus saith the Lord, concerning the sons and concerning the daughters that are born in this place, and concerning their mothers that bore them, and concerning their fathers that begot them in this land. They shall die of a grievous death. They shall not be eliminated, neither shall they be buried, but they shall be as dung upon the face of the earth. And they shall be consumed by the sword and by famine, and their carcasses shall be meat for the fowls of heaven and the beasts of the earth. For thus saith the Lord, enter not into the house of mourning, neither go to laminate nor bemoan them, for I have taken away my peace from this people, saith the Lord, even loving kindness and mercy. Both the great and the small shall die in this land. They shall not be buried, neither shall men laminate for them, nor cut themselves, nor make themselves bald for them. Neither shall men tear themselves for them in mourning to comfort them for the dead. Neither shall men give them the cup of consolation to drink for their fathers or for their mothers. Thou shalt not also go into the house of feasting to sit with them to eat or to drink. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I will cause to cease out of this place in your eyes and in your days the voice of mirth and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt show this people all these words, and they shall say unto thee, wherefore hath the Lord pronounced all this great evil against us? Or what is our iniquities? Or what is our sin that we have committed against the Lord our God? Then shalt thou say unto them, because your fathers have forsaken me, said the Lord, and have walked after other gods, and have served them, and have worshipped them, and have forsaken me, and have not kept my law, and ye have done worse than your fathers. For behold, ye walk every one after the imagination of his evil heart, that thou mayest not hearken unto me. Therefore will I cast you out of this land into a land that ye know not, neither ye nor your fathers, and there shall ye serve other gods day and night, where I will not show you favor. Therefore, behold, the day is coming, said the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, but the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he hath driven them, and bring them again into their own land, that I gave unto their fathers. Behold, I will send for many fishers, said the Lord, and they shall fish them, and after I will send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. Okay, so he revealed this to Jeremiah in a dream, and Jeremiah went and told this to the people of the Israelites, and that they were going into captivity. And to add to that, verse chapter 21. Verses 1 through 10, Jeremiah is pronouncing the destruction of Israel. He says in verse 1, the word which came unto Jeremiah from the Lord, when King Zedekiah sent unto him Pusar, the son of Milchiah, and Zephaniah, the son of Matthiah, the priest, saying, inquire, I pray thee, of the Lord for us. For Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, maketh war against us. If so, be that the Lord will deal with us according to all his wondrous works, that he may go up for us. Then said Jeremiah unto them, Thus shall ye say to Zedekiah, Thus said the Lord God of Israel, Behold, I will turn back the weapons of war that are in your hands, wherewith ye fight against the king of Babylon, and against the Chaldeans, which besiege you without the walls, and I will assemble them in the midst of this city, and I myself will fight against you with an outstretched hand, with a strong arm, even in anger and in fury and in great wrath, and I will smite the inhabitants of the city, both man, beast, they shall die of a great pestilence. And afterwards, said the Lord, I will deliver Zedekiah, king of Judah, and his servants, and the people, and such as are left in this city from the pestilence from the sword and from the famine into the land of into the hands of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and into the hands of their enemies, and into the hands of those that seek their life. And he shall smite them with the edge of the sword. He shall not spare them, neither have pity, nor have mercy. And unto this people thou shalt say, Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I set before you the way of life and the way of death. He that abideth in the city shall die by the sword, and by famine, by the pestilence. But he that goeth out and falleth to the Chaldeans that precedes you, he shall live, and his life shall be unto him for a prey. For I have set my face against this city, for evil, not for good, said the Lord. It shall be given into the hands of the king of Babylon, and he shall burn it with fire. So what I'm reading is that this was shown to Jeremiah in a dream, and then it was interpreted to him. Then Jeremiah went to the people, and he read it to the people. So now in Jeremiah 23, this is the prophecy that the king of Babylon was coming. He hadn't came yet, but Jeremiah is telling them through dreams and visions from what the angel explained to him. And he also explained to him that after the 70 years, they was going to return. And that's in Jeremiah 23, 1 through 8. So in 23, 1 through 8, it says, Jeremiah 23, 1 through 8 says, Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pastures, said the Lord. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon the evil of your doing, said the Lord, and I will gather the remnant of my flock out of the countries whither I have driven them, and will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. I will set up shepherds over them which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, said the Lord. Behold, the days cometh, said the Lord, that I will raise up unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. In these days Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely. And this is the name whereby he shall be called, the Lord our righteousness. Therefore, behold, the days come, said the Lord, that they shall no more say, the Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, but the Lord liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, and from all countries whither I have driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. So this is the prophecy of the captivity and the return. And they haven't happened yet so far. So when you go to immediately after this, when the dream was revealed to Jeremiah of the captivity and the return, and Jeremiah got the understanding of it, he immediately prayed. That's in Jeremiah 32. Let's look at it. So in Jeremiah 32, 16 through 27, it says, Now, when I had delivered the evidence of the purchase unto the Barak, the son of Neriah, I prayed unto the Lord, saying, O Lord God, behold, thou hast made the heavens and the earth by the great power and stretched out arm, and there is nothing too hard for thee. Thou showest loving kindness unto thousands, and recompense the iniquity of the fathers into the bosom of their children after them. The great, the mighty God, the Lord of hosts is his name, great in counsel and mighty in work. For thine eyes are upon all the ways of the sons of men, to give everyone according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings, which have set signs and wonders in the land of Egypt, even unto this day, and in Israel, and among other men, and has made thee a name as at this day, and has brought forth thy people Israel out of the land of Egypt with signs and with wonders, and with strong hand, and with a stretched out arm, and with great terror, and has given them this land which thou didst swear to their fathers to give to them, a land flowing with milk and honey. And they came in and possessed it, but they obeyed not thy voice, neither walked in thy law. They had done nothing of all that thou commanded them to do. Therefore thus thou hast caused all this evil to come upon them. Behold, the mounts, they are come up unto the city to take it, and the city is given into the hands of the Chaldeans that fight against it, because of sword, and of the famine, and the pestilence. And what thou hast spoken is come to pass, and behold, thou seest it. And thou hast said unto me, O Lord God, buy thee a field for money, and take witnesses, for the city is given into the hands of the Chaldeans. Then came the word of the Lord unto Jeremiah, saying, Behold, I am the Lord, the God of all flesh. Is there anything too hard for me? So we see right here that Jeremiah saw, and it was explained to Jeremiah what was getting ready to happen. So immediately Jeremiah, after he got an understanding, he prayed for Israel that the Most High would have mercy on them, right? And so I told you earlier that the purpose of the dreams and visions is to prepare Israel for coming events, and then once the dream is interpreted and it's delivered to them, then they wait on it to come to pass. So we see right here that Jeremiah told them that they was going into captivity because of their sins, and they was going to stay there for 70 years. And then after the 70 years, the Most High was going to come and deliver them from Babylon. And so now I'm going to show you that it came to pass in Jeremiah 39, 1 through 10. Okay, verse 1 says, in the 9th year of Zedekiah, king of Judah, in the 10th month, came Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and all his army against Jerusalem, and they besieged it. And in the 11th year of Zedekiah, in the 4th month, in the 9th day of the month, the city was broken up. And all the princes of the king of Babylon came in and sat in the middle gate, even Nebuchadnezzar, I can't pronounce his name, Negar, Ragmag, with all the residue of the princes of the king of Babylon. And it came to pass, right here, it said, telling you, and it came to pass that when Zedekiah, the king of Judah, saw them and all the men of war, then they fled and went forth out of the city by night, by the way of the king's garden, by the gate between the two walls, and he went out the way of the plain. But the Chaldean army pursued after them and overtook Zedekiah in the plains of Jericho. And when they had taken him, they brought him up to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and Riblah, in the land of Hamath, where he gave judgment upon him. Then the king of Babylon slew the sons of Zedekiah in Riblah before his eyes. Also the king of Babylon slew all the nobles of Judah. Moreover, he put out Zedekiah's eyes and bound him with chains and carried him to Babylon. And the Chaldeans burned the king's house and the house of the people with fire and break down the walls of Jerusalem. Then Nebuchadnezzar, the captain of the guard, carried away captive into Babylon the remnant of the people that remained in the city, and those that fell away, that fell to him, with the rest of the people that remained. But Nebuchadnezzar, the captain of the guard, left of the poor of the people which had nothing in the land of Judah, and gave them vineyards, and fields at the same time. So we see right here in Jeremiah chapter 39 that all that was shown and explained to Jeremiah in the previous verses and chapters came to pass, and just as it had showed them in the visions and the dreams in chapter 39 of Jeremiah. And so that's how it works. Every time when a prophet or a king or one of our forefathers have a dream, they wait on the interpretation of it. And when they get the interpretation and the understanding, they pray about it, and then they wait on it to come to pass. And so what I want to show you now is when the wicked scribe is in play. So if you go to Daniel chapter 8, I'm in Daniel chapter 8, and this is about the ram and the he-goat. The Greeks and the Medes, Medes and Persians. So I'm in 8. I'm gonna read verses, some of verses 1 through 14. So it says, in the 3rd year of the reign of King Belshazzar, a vision appeared unto me, even unto me, Daniel, after that which appeared unto me first. And I saw in a vision, and it came to pass what I saw, that I was at Shushan in a palace, which is in the province of Elam. And I saw in a vision, and I was by the river Ulai. Then I lifted up mine eyes and saw, and behold, there stood before the river a ram which had 2 horns, and the 2 horns were high, but one was higher than the other, and the higher came up last. And I saw the ram pushing westward, northward, southward, so that no beast might stand before him, neither was there any that could deliver out of his hands. But he did according to his will and became great. And as I was considering, behold, a he-goat came from the west on the face of the whole earth, and touched not the ground. And the goat had a notable horn between his eyes. And he came to the ram that had 2 horns, which I had seen standing before the river, and ran unto him in the fury of his power. And I saw him come close unto the ram, and he was moved with clover against him, and smote the ram, and brake his 2 horns. And there was no power in the ram to stand before him. But he cast him down to the ground, and stomped upon him, and there was none that could deliver out of the ram out of his hand. Therefore the he-goat waxed very great, and he was strong, and the great horn was broken, and for it came up 4 notable ones toward the 4 winds of heaven. And out of one of them came forth a little horn, which waxed exceedingly great, toward the south, and toward the east, and toward the pleasant land. And it waxed great, even to the host of heaven, and it cast down some of the hosts of the stars to the ground, and stomped upon them. Yea, he magnified himself to the prince of the host, and by him the daily sacrifice was taken away, and the place of his sanctuary was cast down. And a host was given him against the daily sacrifice by reason of transgression, and it cast down a troop to the ground, and it practiced and prospered. Then I heard one saint speaking, and another saint said unto the certain saint which spake, how long shall be the vision concerning the daily sacrifice and the transgression of the desolation, to give both the sanctuary and the host to be trodden underfoot? And he said unto me, unto 2,300 days, then shall the sanctuary be cleansed. So this is the vision that he had. And like I was saying, immediately after that, we read in verses 15 through 25 that he waited for the interpretation. And so I'm going to start reading Daniel 8, verse 15. And it came to pass when even I, Daniel, had seen the vision and sought for the meaning, then behold, there stood before me at the appearance of a man. And I heard a man's voice between the banks of the Ulai, which called and said to Gabriel, make this man understand the vision. So he came near where I stood, and when he came, I was afraid, and I fell upon my face. But he said unto me, Son of man, for at the time of the end shall be the vision. Now as he was speaking with me, I was in a deep sleep on my face toward the ground, but he touched me and set me upright, and he said, Behold, I will make thee know what shall be in the last end of indignation, for at the time appointed the end shall be. The ram which thou sawest having 2 horns are the kings of the Medes and Persians, and the rough goat is the king of Grecia, and the great horn that is between thy eyes is the first king. Now, that being broken, whereas 4 stood up for it, 4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in its power. And in the latter times of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to a full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up. And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper in practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. And through his policies also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hands, and he shall magnify himself in his heart. And by peace he shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. Right. So what I just showed you is that Daniel received a vision, then Gabriel, the archangel, came and gave him the understanding of the vision. And so I'm not going to expound on what was said and the interpretation, because you can go to our website, and you can get watch the video.
The Third Beast.
The Third Beast, and they also have another one called Israel Was Not Destroyed in 70 A.D. And you get a full breakdown of what's going on. So once he received the interpretation, the vision, and he got the interpretation, we see in Daniel chapter 9, Daniel prayed, just like Jeremiah did. So I'm starting in chapter 9, verse 1. Okay, it says 1 through 19. And in the first year of Darius, the son of Ahasuerus, the seed of the Medes, which was made king over the realm of the Chaldeans, in the first year of his reign, I, Daniel, understood by book the number of years wherefore the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah, the prophet, that he would accomplish 70 years in the desolation of Jerusalem. And I set my face unto the Lord God to seek by prayer and supplication with fasting and sackcloth and ashes. And I prayed unto the Lord my God, and made my confession, and said, O Lord, the great and dreadful God, keeping covenant and mercy to them that love him, and to them that keep his commandments. We have sinned, and have committed iniquity, and have done wickedly, and have rebelled, even by departing from thy precepts and from thy judgments. Neither have we hearkened unto thy servants, the prophets, which spake in thy name to our kings, our princes, and our fathers, and to all the people of the land. O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of faith, as at this day, to the men of Judah, and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and unto all Israel that are near, and that are far off, through all the countries whither thou hast driven them, because of their trespass, that they have trespassed against thee. O Lord, to us belongs confusion of faith, to our kings, to our princes, to our fathers, because we have sinned against thee. To the Lord our God belongeth mercy and forgiveness, though we have rebelled against him. Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord our God, to walk in his ways, which he set before us by his servants the prophets. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy laws, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath is written in the law of Moses, thy servant of God, because we have sinned against him. And he hath confirmed his word, which he spake against us, and against our judges that judge us, by bringing upon us this great evil. For under the whole heavens have not been done, as have been done upon Jerusalem. As it is written in the law of Moses, all this evil is come upon us. Yet made we not our prayer before the Lord our God, that we might turn from our iniquities and understand thy truth. Therefore hath the Lord watched upon the evil, and brought it upon us. For the Lord our God is righteous in all his works, which he doeth, for we obey not his voice. As now, O Lord our God, that hast brought thy people forth out of the land of Egypt with a mighty hand, and hast gotten thee renowned at this day, we have sinned, we have done wickedly. O Lord, according to all thy righteousness, I beseech thee, let thy anger and thy fury be turned away from the city, thy city, Jerusalem, thy holy mountain, because of our sin, and for the iniquity of our fathers. Jerusalem and thy people are become a reproach to all that are about us. Now therefore, O our God, hear the prayer of thy servant and his supplications, and cause thy face to shine upon thy sanctuary that is desolate for the Lord's sake. O my God, incline thine ears and hear, open thine eyes, behold our desolations and the city which is called by thy name, for we do not present our supplications before thee for our righteousness, but for thy great mercy. O Lord, hear, O Lord, forgive, O Lord, hearken and do, defer not, for thine own sake, O my God, for the city and for thy people are called by thy name. So we see right here that Jeremiah got a gist of what was going on, and immediately he started interceding for Israel because Gabriel gave him an understanding of what was getting ready to happen. And so we see that you get the vision, then you get the interpretation from the angel, then you pray about it, then you wait on it to come to pass. And we saw all that happen, went just by the book in Jeremiah when the Babylonians came. And we see right here up until this point, it's going by the book. Okay, so he tells Daniel that the Greeks is going to overtake the Medes and Persians, and that the Greeks is going to come to Jerusalem, and they was going to sack Jerusalem, right? And so we see in in Daniel, all the way to go to the end of Daniel chapter 12, it don't come to pass. So that's the third beast. So if you go to Malachi, which is the last book of the Old Testament, that's the end of the Tanakh, the Old Testament. That's doing the Malachi came about during the time of the Medes and Persians. The Greeks hadn't came yet. And so that's the end of the Old Testament. So when you go to Matthew chapter 1, we see that we're in the fourth beast. So the third beast is not there. So we got a problem. We see in Jeremiah was informed that the Babylonians, Nebuchadnezzar, was coming. He was going to burn the temple down and run the Israelites out of the land. And Nebuchadnezzar came just as it was prophesied and did that. Well, it was prophesied right here that the Greeks was going to come. But we don't see where it came to pass. We find ourselves in the Matthew doing the Romans, doing the fourth beast, doing the Romans. So where did it come to pass at? Well, you have to go into the Apocryphal books that was taken out. The Apocryphal books was at one time they was in the original King James 1611 Bible, but they was taken out. And so when you go to the Apocryphal books, First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 1, and it tells you it came to pass after Alexander of Macedon, the son of Philip, who came from the land of Chechen, had utterly destroyed Darius. That's what Gabriel explained to Daniel, that a he-goat was going to come up against the ram with the two horns, and it's going to take him out. And so we see it right here. The king of the Medes and Persians, that he reigned in his stead, and that he had reigned over Greece, and captured fortresses and slaughtered the kings of the earth, and he made his way to the ends of the earth and spoiled a multitude of nations. The whole earth was silent before him, and he became exalted, and his heart was uplifted. He mustered a very mighty army and ruled over the lands and ruled over heathens, and they paid him tribute. Afterwards he fell sick, just as Gabriel told Daniel, and he knew that he was going to die. So he called his distinguished servants who had been brought up with him and divided his kingdom among them, which was why he was still alive. Alexander had reigned 12 years when he died. So we see it came to pass in First Maccabees. It's not by the book. It's the same way Jeremiah was. And so we see that it's a problem there because of the whole Greek kingdom and the history of the Greeks is not in the scriptures. It was taken out. And so, like I said, if you want to get a reason why it happened, because I'm dealing with dreams and visions right here, but if you want to get a gist of the reason why it's not in there, you can go and check out those two videos I told you on the channel, which is the third beast and Israel was not destroyed, part 1 and 2, which expound on it too, expound on the whole thing, the whole setting, break it all down. Okay. And so, with that being said, I mean, if anybody have any questions on what I just talked about, I mean, feel free to ask questions.
I don't have any questions right now.
Okay. Did it make any sense?
Yes, it did. It did.
Okay. Yeah, I said I had to do a lot of reading because to make it as plain as I can, because it's important, because you have to understand that it's a reason that we have dreams and visions. And we as Israelites today, we have dreams and visions, but we have dreams, but we ain't dealing with them. So that's what alerted me to do this class right here, because to give people a deeper understanding of the purpose of dreams and visions. Yeah.
Yeah, this is good. It makes a lot of sense. It connects. You know, the trickery and the you know, what was done to us, which is all part of our curse, not listening.
Right. And so it's if you notice in there that when the prophet had the dream, he waited, he tarried for the understanding. Then once he get the understanding, he pray again, and then he pray about the understanding that he received, and then he wait again, he tarried. So what you see is patience, you know, and a calmness. There's no rush, or there's no rush to judgment. The prophet, they wait on the Most High. He sent the vision, and he's gonna make the vision come to pass. Not the prophet, but the Most High is gonna make it come to pass.
So it's safe to say there's nothing we can do to get ourselves out of this.
Right. So when you're dealing with the events that's going to transpire these last days, you looking for the understanding. Then once you get the understanding, you pray about it, then you wait on the Most High, because no man is not going to bring it to pass. And also, how we know that? Isaiah 9 and 6. It says 6 and 7. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. The government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end. There shall be no end upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth, even and forever. And this is what everybody don't focus on. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform. The Lord of hosts is not a man, so no man ain't going to perform it. It's the Lord of hosts, which is none other than Michael, the great prince of Israel.
Yeah, you didn't say the chapter. It's chapter 9, verse 6 and 7.
Isaiah chapter 9, verses 6 and 7, and with an emphasis on the last sentence of 7, which is the zeal of the Lord of hosts shall perform this. We see he performed it in Isaiah dealing with the Babylonians, and he performed it in Daniel dealing with the Greeks. So it'd be him that we look into. It's him that's performing all this behind the scenes. He has the power. So if we don't have any more questions, we're gonna close that out, and then we're gonna go into Q&A. You have any questions about any other videos or anything that you came across, we're going to try to answer and dialogue about it.
All right. Well, this was fun and informative. We'll see you again on Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shalom.